Doctors can't save the billionaire's baby until a poor black girl does the unthinkable. This is Story Sphere. A billionaire notices his baby stop breathing right there on the hospital floor. Doctors hesitate. Seconds vanish. Alarms scream. Then, a girl steps forward and breaks every rule. With a green plastic cup and nothing to lose, she risks everything. Because where she comes from, waiting means death. Before we dive in, let us know in the comments. What time is it, and where are you watching from? Let's start. William Thornton noticed something was wrong before anyone else did. It wasn't dramatic at first. No scream, no collapse. Just silence. His son, 1-year-old Benjamin, dressed in a bright red onesie, had been squirming in his arms moments ago, fingers tugging at William's tie, like he always did. Now, Benjamin was still. Too still. His small chest moved, but shallowly, like breathing had suddenly become work. William leaned closer. Ben. No response. Benjamin's lips looked dry, pale. His eyes were half open but unfocused, staring past him. That was when fear hit. Not loud, not cinematic, but cold and surgical. The kind that cuts straight through arrogance and money and certainty. Hey, hey. Benjamin's head lolled sideways. William didn't shout yet. He didn't panic yet. He did what powerful men do first. He tried to control it. He adjusted his grip, checked his son's face again. Then, Benjamin made a faint choking sound. Not coughing, not crying, just air failing to move the way it should. William turned and shouted, "I need help." Now, the luxury hospital lobby exploded into motion. Doctors and paramedics rushed from different directions. A gurney was brought forward, but Benjamin suddenly stiffened in William's arms, body arching for a split second before going limp again. No. 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 William dropped to his knees, instinctively lowering his son to the polished marble floor. The floor was flat, stable, clear. Doctors surrounded them immediately. Put him down. Flat. Yes, right there. Oxygen masks. Monitoring leads. Gloved hands everywhere. Benjamin lay on the floor in his red onesie, tiny against the vast space. Pulse present. Someone said, "Oxygen's dropping. He's breathing, but not effectively." This wasn't a collapse that made sense. They didn't move him. Airway management happened where the patient was. Every second spent lifting him was a second without oxygen. William backed away, hands shaking, watching men and women who had trained their entire lives move with terrifying calm. Then, something worse happened. Benjamin stopped moving altogether. Not cardiac arrest, not fully. Just stuck. A doctor pulled away from the oxygen mask. "Laryngospasm," he said. Airway reflex closed. Another doctor nodded sharply. "Don't force anything. We wait for it to release." And that was the nightmare. Because waiting feels like doing nothing when it's your child on the floor. "Why aren't you doing something?" William shouted. "We are," Dr. Carson said firmly. Forcing it could kill him. Benjamin's oxygen saturation dipped again. 70. 68. The alarms began. William felt the room tilt. And that was when the girl moved. But here's a question for you. Right as the tension peaks. When have you seen someone break the rules to do what was right? Keep that in mind. She had been there longer than anyone realized. A poor black girl, about 10 years old. Thin, tired. Her beige t-shirt dirty, blue jeans frayed at the knees, braided hair pulled back too tight. She didn't belong in this place of glass and money. Her name was Kesha Williams. She hadn't come for help. She had come for water. She lived 3 streets away. That morning, she had followed her mother to work. Then everything went wrong. Security accused her of wandering, of stealing. She ran. And now she was here, watching a baby on the floor, watching something she recognized. Not from textbooks. From survival. In her neighborhood, babies didn't get doctors right away. When they froze like that, you didn't wait. Waiting meant death. She saw Benjamin's lips dry. She saw his tongue pulled back. She saw the doctors hesitate. Kesha didn't have protocol. She had memory. Her hand tightened around the bright green plastic cup she had just filled. She didn't scream. She didn't announce herself. She dropped to her knees beside the baby. "Hey, stop." Too late. Kesha tilted Benjamin's head, not far, not careless, and poured a thin stream of water across his lips. Just enough to shock the mouth, to trigger swallowing. Doctors shouted, "No." Security lunged. But the water touched his mouth. Benjamin gagged once, hard. His body jerked violently as the airway snapped open on instinct. Air rushed in. A cry tore out of him. Raw, angry, alive. The room froze. Monitors surged. Oxygen climbed. William dropped to the floor, hands covering his face, sobbing without sound. Doctors stared at the girl kneeling beside the baby, water dripping from the green cup onto the marble floor. She hadn't meant to save him. She had meant to stop him from dying. Kesha pulled back immediately, fear crashing over her now. "I'm sorry," she whispered. "I'm sorry, I didn't know." Dr. Carson knelt, checking Benjamin. "He's breathing strongly. No miracle. Just timing. Just risk. Just instinct colliding with medicine at the exact right second." William looked at the girl for the first time. Really looked. Dirty clothes, shaking hands, eyes too old for her face. And he understood something that would haunt him forever. If she hadn't been there, if she had stayed invisible, his son would be dead. Benjamin lay on the marble floor for several more seconds, crying weakly but breathing. "Okay," Dr. Carson said. "Let's move him now." They lifted Benjamin carefully onto the gurney. William started to follow. Then, a hand closed around his sleeve. "Sir." He turned sharply. It was security. 2 guards. Their eyes weren't on his son. They were on Kesha. She still knelt on the floor, the green plastic cup resting beside her knee. "She interfered with a medical emergency," one guard said. "She ran in, unauthorized." Kesha flinched. I didn't mean." William stepped between them without thinking. "No." The word came out low. "Absolute." "She didn't interfere," William said, his voice shaking. "She saved my son." Dr. Carson straightened. "That's correct. And if anyone touches her, they'll answer to me." The guards backed off. Kesha tried to speak, but her legs gave out. Dr. Carson caught her. "She's dehydrated," he said immediately. "Probably hasn't eaten." They put her on a gurney, too. Not as a suspect. As a patient. An hour later, Kesha sat in a quiet examination room, wrapped in a thin hospital blanket. William visited Benjamin first. The pediatric ICU was quieter, softer. Then he remembered the girl, and shame followed relief like a shadow. When William returned to Kesha's room, he didn't speak at first. He sat, waited. "I'm sorry," he said finally. Kesha looked up, confused. "For what?" "For not seeing you." She frowned. "You saw me?" "No," William said. "I looked past you. My people chased you, treated you like a threat while my son was dying." Kesha's jaw tightened. "I tried to tell them," she said softly. "But nobody listens to kids like me." That sentence broke something in him. "What you did today," he said carefully, "went against every rule in that room. And it worked." Kesha nodded. "Sometimes waiting kills. Where I'm from, you don't wait." Dr. Carson added quietly. "She took a risk doctors aren't allowed to take." William looked at Kesha again. Not at her clothes. At her courage. "You shouldn't have had to be that brave," he said. She shrugged. "I didn't feel brave. I felt scared." "That's what makes it count," William replied. Later, William brought Kesha to see Benjamin. She stood awkwardly at the doorway. Benjamin blinked up at her, then stopped crying. "Hey," she said softly. The baby stared, then reached out. William watched his son grab her finger. "You saved his life," William said. "And I won't forget it." Kesha looked at the baby. "I'm just glad he's breathing," she said. William nodded. So was he. And for the first time in his life, the billionaire understood something terrifying and true. Money hadn't saved his child. A girl the world tried to erase had. If this moment made your chest tighten, don't scroll away. Like this video so more people see stories that matter. Comment below. Should the girl have been stopped, or did she do the only right thing? Share this with someone who believes courage doesn't need permission. Subscribe to Storysphere for real, grounded stories where one decision changes a life forever.